You're listening to the Telltale channel. Don't forget to check me out on all social media: Patreon, Twitter, Teespring, and Etsy. All links can be found in the description or on my website, telltaleatheist.com.
Hey, this is Chris, and the state is Massachusetts. How was your time as a Jehovah's Witness?
That's a good question. It was really strange, we'll say that. But it was normal to me. So growing up, I was born into the religion, right? And my earliest memories are Jehovah's Witness related. For example, I've told this story before in public talks and things like that. But I remember when I was little, I was afraid that there were monsters in my bedroom. I was afraid of the dark. Most kids are afraid of the dark. And I said to my mom, I was like, "Mom, I'm afraid there are monsters in my bedroom." And she was like, "Oh yeah, there are. Actually, they're demons. But if you say Jehovah's name, then they can't get you. You're safe from them." So I would wander into my room saying, "Jehovah, Jehovah, Jehovah," over and over again. Things like that. I remember telling her I wasn't going to make it into the new system because I lied. When I was like 6, I would tell lies about whatever stupid things, 6-year-olds lie about. And I was convinced I wasn't going to make it into the new system, like make it through Armageddon. That's the kind of fear tactics that they program into you. Those are the kinds of memories that I have from growing up as a Jehovah's Witness. Everything that I did in my life always revolved around and focused on whether or not it was pleasing Jehovah, whether or not it was glorifying Jehovah. Every decision that I made, I can't tell you how many times I said the phrase, "It's against my religion," when I was a kid. I remember saying it, when we would stand up to say the Pledge of Allegiance in school, all the kids would say it, and they'd come up to me afterward because I didn't say it, and they'd be like, "Why didn't you say the Pledge of Allegiance? Why don't you put your hand over your heart and all that?" And I'd be like, "It's against my religion." Or when all of the kids were celebrating Valentine's Day, putting Valentines in each other's pouches, and I wasn't. I was the only one in the class not participating. They would say, "Why won't you accept my Valentine? Why can't I give you Valentines? Why aren't you giving out Valentines? It's against my religion." It all revolved around the religion from the very beginning. And it was extremely freeing to me to finally come out of that religion and be able to do whatever I wanted to do. For many years after leaving the religion, there were still a lot of things that I wouldn't do. For example, I lived with my daughter's great-grandparents. So my ex's grandparents, I lived with them and with my ex and my daughter at the time, right when I was coming out of the religion. And they celebrated all the holidays, right? Well, I would take part in some of the holidays. I would do some things, but Halloween was absolutely out. Would not do it, no matter what. Wasn't going to take part in anything Halloween related until eventually they slowly kind of whittled me down and I was finally like, "Okay, fine, I'll do it." I remember my ex telling me, "If you're not going to take our daughter out with you collecting the candy, then you can't have any of the candy." That was enough for me to go the following year, I guess. So I still stole some of the candy. They can stick it. But that's what it took for me to kind of work my way out of that. Until finally I broke down and I realized it was all BS. I think I was probably 21 or 22 years old. I realized it was all complete BS, Jehovah's Witnesses. There's no reason for me to put myself through this torture and separate myself from society, continue separating myself from society that way, the way that all Jehovah's Witnesses do. And I just started living my life. I just started being a normal human and taking part in all of the normal societal activities that people take part in. And I had a good time. It's fun. Christmas is fun. Halloween is fun. There's nothing wrong with doing that stuff. There is something wrong with not doing that stuff, with separating yourself from society like that. It's not good. So that's what it was like to grow up as a Jehovah's Witness, if you were wondering.